Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark Garage. You know, after last week's episode with that rear end, I had a friend of mine reach out. He'd watch a video. He's got a rear end for this Camaro 355 Posi. We're going to head over and pick it up. The fun part is he's got some pretty cool rides we're going to look at. So come on along.
Like a 340 something gear,
Yeah.
350 gear. I don't remember.
Oh, there is actually a bolt that goes down through there then.
On this,
On these.
there's two bolts and one U bolt.
Oh, okay, because
There's two little T bolts.
Yep.
And then a U bolt.
Oh, okay. Mine looked like it was all T-bolts, but
Yeah.
maybe it's not. I don't know.
I wonder if I might even have them somewhere.
I'll be able to salvage mine. They weren't anything horrible.
Yeah, it's a 10 bolt, and it came out of another Camaro, so it should go right in there. I don't know why I took the
Brakes off it?
out.
Well, I got a brand new set.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I put seals in it.
Yeah.
Because it's been sitting here for a couple of years and it hasn't leaked.
Huh?
Pinion seal don't even leak. It's got grease in it.
It's better than mine's doing.
Yeah.
Mine leaked all over the floor.
It don't even leak.
So here's the rear end I come over to get from Rick. Say hi, Rick.
Hey.
Rick's an old friend of mine, and he's got a few toys here we're going to look at, but this is the rear end that we're going to take and put in the 80 Camaro. He's got this, is that 85? Is that what you said?
84.
84 Dodge. Custom air cleaner cover on it. Leaning tower of power. This is one of his projects he's working on right now. A little tight in here, but short box, two-wheel drive.
It may be for sale.
Got the cop car rims and tires on it. If you might be thinking about selling it, so if you had an interest, I could probably put the two of you together. Standard, what's it got, a 4-speed in it?
Yep, 4-speed at 833.
Yeah. But it's in really nice shape. Rick just got rid of his, what was your 72
Yeah.
C10 orange and black one that he used to cruise around in. Is that valve cover actually chrome, or do they
No, I
just
sandblasted that and clear coated it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, really?
all it is. It's sandblasted and clear coated.
Yeah. I love the top though. That's the best. Probably somebody else's license plate. So.
No, they're mine. I keep them old license plates. They're aluminum. You never know when you're gonna need that.
Oh, but this is a 1939 Chevrolet Master Deluxe. And this is a nice looking ride.
5 years ago, I drove this home from Kansas City.
Meekum auction, right?
Meekum, yep. Yeah. 5 years ago, Thursday, I think it was.
Pretty nice. Nice seats. Automatic air conditioning, right?
Yep. Cruise.
Pretty cool old tack.
The cruise isn't currently working, but it did work.
It cruises though.
It cruises.
That's the main thing. That's a pretty cool old tack. Stuart Warner set up. Yeah, I forgot to bring my light. I usually got a light that I can put on my camera, but I love this color. That just
it's really
the
nice
light
out in the
doesn't-
sun.
It's got smooth running boards.
It's a little dirty, but
Small block carbureted.
and they
All the fun
when they
stuff.
did it, they even two-toned the bottom side of the hood.
Oh sure. Yeah, it's got a little flame job, but if you look at that, the color of it, it's nice. Have you taken this back to the 50s?
No, I haven't.
Maybe this year, huh?
I don't know. It just depends on the race schedule.
Yeah. Drag racing. Rick, you ever had one of them cars you wish you'd never gotten rid of?
There's probably a few. I bet
what
there's
was
one
it?
right to your left. that
What
you
was it?
probably-
So I had a car I wished I'd never gotten rid of way back in the day when I circle track raced. I bought this car to cut up and turn into a street stock. And then I had a change of heart and decided to put it on the street. This is a 1987, 88. 88 is the last year they made them. Some people will tell you that Cutlass wasn't made in 88, but if it's got composite headlights like that, that makes it an 88, but that's the last year they built the Cutlass.
We got racing will also tell you that that hood for an 87 will not fit an 88.
Yeah, yep.
I corrected them.
Yep, yeah, because I had all kinds of problems, but this was, or still probably is, titled as a 1988. I own this. I drag raced it for a number of years. I sold it to Jeff, the guy that we did a shop tour here a couple years ago. He turned around and sold it to Rick, and Rick's been racing it ever since then. I believe that's the original motor still, correct?
That is the motor, yep.
I've
never had that apart since I got it.
This was a motor that Sodbuster Racing built, circle track motor. So that's got a few runs on it.
I've got about 120 runs on it since I bought it.
Wow, and you're running, what are you running now on it?
1189 and a quarter is the fastest, and a 746.
Yeah. And I think I was in the upper, like 1205 or something like that. I can't remember what, but there's a lot of memories in this vehicle.
It used to be maroon.
Yep, it was maroon. I think I probably had some pictures on. Mrs. Landshark would like to kill me for doing this.
Still got the Sodbuster motors.
Sodbuster motors. That's who guy that built the engine for it. This has got a quick performance 9-inch rear end underneath it that I had custom made for my circle track car without any pinion degree in it.
Oh, okay.
It's 0. Where like street stockers, they always got a whole bunch of pinion angle into them for torque. And I had this one built. I sold that car. That guy wrecked it. I dug this rear end back up because I wanted it for this car, because otherwise I had that little 7.5 inch in the back of it. And yeah, this is one of them ones that you ever wish you had a car back.
And this is the same drivetrain, everything. I have not done anything to the drivetrain.
Yeah, so it's got a turbo 350 transmission.
Yep. Same transmission, same rear end. The only thing I've done underneath is QA1 rear trailing arms.
Yeah, cool. It's a lot. It looks better. It looks way better in blue than it did in the maroon that we had.
And I painted it in here in the shop.
Nice.
So it's when you get close, it's not perfect.
Yeah, there is a little difference. When I raced it, I ran ethanol E85. Yep. I'm pretty sure this is a
Sniper.
Holley Sniper setup with the electronics and everything, right?
Yep. It's got
distributor
the
and coil,
ignition, everything. It's all Holley, fuel pump, everything.
And that's the way everything's going. And it's still got the original flexi hose there, Mortsky.
Yep.
But
and I looked at this old sticker from Thunder Valley, and it says 2009.
2009 was the first year we raced.
Was it?
Yep. When we took it down, that was it still had an 8.5 in it then.
Okay.
And then
2009.
And then we mostly raced up at Interstate in Fargo. Yep. That's where you race most of the time.
That's my home track, is Interstate Dragway.
Interstate Dragway in Fargo.
6 miles east of Fargo.
Can't miss it. Yeah, Sabin, Minnesota. But yeah, this is the one that got away. I never had a lot of cool cars when I was a kid. I had functional cars that worked or were cheap, but we put a lot of time into this one. This is when we got out of circle track racing. This was probably like our first project, was getting this on the road, and then you know how it escalates.
Yep.
Pretty soon the heating system was gone, and it wasn't real roadworthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I took the dash and stuff out. There's no dash in it anymore.
So I remember statute of limitations is up now. But
we're both former law enforcement.
Yeah, both former law enforcement. So it's like yeah. So
the other side is where it's got the dent when you broke the axle.
Yeah, took my daughter out to show her what a burnout was like. Got out west of town and busted an axle and boogered up the rear fender, and had to swallow my pride and have somebody come get me. And
And
parked it in the
I
cemetery.
did not fix that either
Yeah,
when
just-
I painted. I just painted over
That's an
it.
homage to Land Shark right there. But that's what it used to say right along the back of this
Yeah,
window. It
Land
said
Shark.
Land Shark.
I
So-
actually just took the purple tint off the inside windows
Oh,
today.
really?
Today I did
Yeah.
that this morning. It was
Yeah.
so purple looking anymore.
And
the
then
tint was, so.
this on-off switch, that's a custom-made thing. This is a knob from Menards because it's the only thing that would really screw on there. So that was cool. But Rick's piloting it now,
Yeah.
making it go a lot faster. Maybe
3 years I've been running it now.
maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to race against him. But
Yeah, 3
yeah,
years.
but Mrs. Landshark and I were talking about that motor, that whole electric water pump setup. That's an old school. That yellow, the bracket and everything I got from a guy that drag races now, Todd Sell.
Oh.
And that's who built the motor too. But that setup it'd been around a long time. I'm thinking that they were running that back in the 80s on some of
Really?
their cars. Yep, and some of these other.
I was
different
actually
ideas.
going to pull the motor and just kind of inspect things this year, but it ran so good last year and I had such good luck with it that I'm not touching nothing.
Not gonna mess
so
with it. Yeah.
Pretty much all I'm doing this year is changing oil.
Yeah, there you go. Rudder
Everything
block.
else is staying the same.
Yep, and then you got fiberglass hood that you put on
Yep.
it. I
Yep.
saw that sitting
Yep,
back there.
clean
So.
back there.
Look at it back in the back there. So that was cool.
Lightened it up a little bit that way.
So maybe we can get that rear end that's on the floor over there in the Camaro, and then we can see how it does against this. I doubt it, but everybody's going with these Holly sniper systems, so I'm really thinking Mrs. Landshark's going to want one of them for something.
I like
if
it.
If I keep shooting footage of people with Holly sniper setups on, we'll probably eventually get it. It's easy to tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really haven't done much except I messed around with the timing a little bit, adding a little timing and stuff like that. But as far as going deep into the tune of it, I've pretty much left it alone.
And
It's run consistent. I ran one set of spark plugs all last year, never changed a set
Really?
of spark plugs.
And it's the way of the new world.
Yep.
I mean, it's just something we're going to have to get used to.
I had
Us
it
old guys.
sitting, before I moved it here to the shop over the hoist, it was sitting over there for 6 months, and I think the last I had started was 3 months ago, and I got in it the other day and pulled the power switch and hit the key, and she started right up
Nice.
and ran. So it's, and that
When I had that ethanol carburetor on there was a certain system you had to
Yep.
pump, crank, pump, crank, and then you'd wait. This is like in October when we'd race up there, and then you'd hit it and it would take off, but you couldn't feather it or anything because ethanol would lean out so bad on a carburetor when you stepped on it. When it came off, it would just die on you.
Yep.
It took me a long time and a ethanol wizard that told me, here, you're doing this wrong. It's not the carburetor, it's you. And after that, I did okay. So speaking of that, I was looking at the wheels on this 39,
Yep.
and the wheels that are on this, Rick put on these after he bought it because the wheels that are on the Camaro right now are the wheels that were on this.
Yep.
So you know how everything just kind of makes a circle and then circles back and comes back around? That's kind of what this deal is.
And these wheels came from Dan Thielen, who's also another racer.
Yeah,
They
Dan
were on
Thielen.
his race car.
Yep. Cool deal.
Yeah. And eventually I'd like to put a sniper system on the 39.
Yeah, I'd like to get one on my 49 just because I'm running a 2-barrel Rochester carburetors.
They do make 2-barrel snipers too.
Oh, shut up. That's all I need to know. You're not listening to that, are you, honey? But yeah, hey, I kind of played that same game. I'd wrap a little pig mat around there once in a while.
There's no baffle inside there, so at the higher RPMs,
Yep, it wants to push oil
pushes
out.
out, and it's usually at the end of the track.
But then someone's scowling at you because you're smoking.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I know guys have had some issues with them snipers, and when I first got it, I pulled it out of the box, and I was a little intimidated by the wiring. But then once I read through the instructions about 3 or 4 times, and I just followed it step by step and hooked her up and
See,
hit the key, and she fired right up.
That's the bad part with me because I've always thought that instructions are just another man's opinion on how you should do it.
These are kind of.
I get in trouble that way, but yeah,
I checked and double checked, and
that's cool.
no.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That was pretty fun. Got a chance to see a couple of cool cars. Picked up a posi rear end for the old Camaro. Got a chance to look at one of my old hot rods, the one that got away. We appreciate everything. Never forget, drive your shit. We'll see ya.